Your body listens to your mind. If you believe you're broken, and you will stay that way. If you believe you're healing, and the healing will begin. When we choose love over fear, our path becomes clearer. Hello, everyone. Good morning and good evening, friends. My name is Kalyani. Today, I'll be sharing some insights from the book Illusions 2, which was written by Richard Bach. So, usually, I'm someone who stays in the background and goes with the flow. But this time, it feels like the universe had a special plan for me, and it pushed me to go first in this program. So here I am, happy to share about the book Illusions 2 with you today. The reason I picked this book is which is Illusions 2 and written by Richard Bach, because I like reading real life stories that teach us meaningful lessons, and the title Illusion 2 caught my attention. And when I started reading, I realized it's about life, love, and how we create our own reality. So, this session is going to be a bit interactive. So, I will be asking a few questions in between, just to check if you're awake or maybe sleepy. I'm just kidding. I just want to hear your inputs. So, now let's take a quick look at what this book is really about. It's kind of like an overview before we go deeper into each part. So, Illusions 2 is written by Richard Bach, and you might know him as the author of Jonathan Livingston Seagull. So, this book starts with his first one, Illusions, where he left off. The first one talked a lot about how our thoughts create our reality, more on a spiritual or theoretical side. But Illusions 2 feels much more real and more personal. It's like life saying, okay, you have learned the theory, now let's test it. So the story begins with something completely unexpected, where Richard's airplane crashes and his body is badly hurt and he can barely move. It's like everything he took for granted, his freedom, his strength, his control, um, everything is gone. So, but here, but here is where it gets interesting. So, in that silence, when he feels completely helpless, he starts sensing the voice of his old teacher, Donald Shimoda. So, Donald is like a spiritual guide to Richard. So, Donald helps him rediscover that healing doesn't just happen in hospitals. Um, it starts in the mind through awareness and love. So, this book isn't really about airplanes, it's about learning to rise again when life knocks us down. It's about how belief, love, and trust in ourselves can rebuild us from the inside out. Also, this story reminded me a bit of Dr. Joe Dispenza. He also had a major accident and he healed himself using the power of the mind. So, have you read or heard of any other stories about healing, inner strength, or awakening? Just feel free to type in the chat. I would like to hear. So, this book has 15 chapters in total. But since we have limited time today, I have grouped a few of them together so we can go through the essence of the story and what it teaches us. Let's start with the first part, uh, the accident and awakening, which covers chapters 1 to 5. So, the book opens with a heart stopping moment where Richard plane crashes into a field. He is conscious, but He hears people rushing towards him, yet he feels oddly peaceful, like part of him is just absorbing from the above. So that's when he senses Donald's presence again. Again, Donald is a spiritual guide for Richard. So Donald doesn't say like you are dying, or he simply says you are safe. You are not your body. You are just changing the states, and that one thought changes everything. Instead of panicking, Richard feels calm. So he begins realizing that even when the body breaks, our awareness and the real us continues. So, in these chapters, Richard also enters a dreamlike space. He sees children's nature and the peaceful scenes. From this, he understands that when we choose love over fear, our path becomes clearer, even during the tough or life changing moments. So he also realizes that there are unseen supports around us, like guidance, intuition, or a gentle force that quietly help us when we need it most. So the main idea here is we are not just our physical form. Life is so much bigger than what we see or touch. This actually reminded me of something personal. Last week, I lost a good friend of mine. Um, I felt really sad and a bit lost at first. But after a day, I took a moment to breathe and let myself come back to balance. So that quiet inner awareness, that the part of me that stays calm and watches, helped me slowly find the strength again. And when I read about Richard's crash and recovery, it really made me think we all have that same power inside us. So, question to you all again. Some of you might also come across painful situations. Did it later become a turning point or a deeper lesson for you? If yes, just type S in the chat. Now we have covered the first few chapters. Let's take a look at chapter 6 to 9, where Richard's real healing journey begins. So now, as Richard slowly starts to recover, the struggle is real. His body aches, he can barely move, and fear starts creeping in. He keeps asking himself, will I ever fly again? That's when Donald shows up, and it's not in person, but in his thoughts. Their talks are short, simple, but really deep. Donald says things like, your body listens to your mind. If you believe you're broken, and you will stay that way. If you believe you're healing, and the healing will begin. Richard starts practicing every single day. He visualizes himself walking, moving, even flying again. At first, progress is tiny. Maybe just a finger moves, or he can lift his head. But those small improvements are proof that his beliefs are shaping his recovery. And it's not just physical. His mind, his emotions, his hope, they all start waking up bit by bit. And he begins noticing that when he focuses on fear or what he can do, he feels weaker. But when he focuses on strength, hope, or gratitude, energy flows and the body starts responding. So, Richard also discovers something amazing. Even objects, memories, and loved ones, like his seaplane, he named it as Puff, or his lucky dog. They carry spirit and life when touched by love and care. So, though Puff looks broken in the crash, Richard senses her energy, her spirit, and the connection gives him hope. So, Lucky, the dog of Richard, even after passing away, shows him that love never dies. Spirit and connection continue beyond physical form. So, Richard learns another lesson, that pain and challenge are part of the story. Just like the crash, struggles are not punishments, but opportunities to grow, to rebuild, and to discover strength we didn't know we had. So healing is not just about the body; it's about the mind. It's about the spirit and the stories we tell ourselves about life. So, here the main idea is our thoughts and beliefs don't just stay in our head. They influence our emotions, our energy, and even how our body heals. So, love, connection, and perspective shape how we experience challenges too. Example, think about a day when you woke up exhausted, thinking like, I can't do this. Or how did you feel that day? Now imagine if you shifted and said, I can do this, I can handle it, I will take it step by step. Notice how your body and mood changes. That's not a magic, that's an alignment of your mind, body, and your spirit. So I can give you another example of mine. Like I remember a time when work felt completely overwhelming and I have guests at home and I have deadlines as well at my work. So I doubted myself and my energy was very low, and I thought I can't get through this. But then I paused and took a deep breath and started focusing on small steps, one at a time. Gradually, things started moving again. That small shift in mindset, the decision to focus on healing, connection, and hope made all the difference. Question to you guys again, sorry, masters again. Have you ever felt your thoughts drain you? If yes, did changing your focus make you feel stronger? If type yes or no in the chat. Um, Now, let's move on to chapter 10 to 13, where the story takes deeper turn from healing the body to understand the power of love and energy. So, in these chapters, Richard starts remembering what happened when he was unconscious. He realizes he wasn't gone. He was just in another level of awareness, completely calm and expanded. So, in that state, he notices that fear, pain, and time don't exist in the same way. Everything feels effortless and clear. So, Donald, his spirit guide, appears again, guiding him to see how everything in life, even things we normally call non living things, carries energy when love is present. He shows Richard that his thoughts, intentions, and care are not separate from the world, they actually shape it. He helped Richard notice his airplane puff. To most people, it's just a machine, but to Richard, puff feels alive because love, attention, and care have gone into it. He sees that healing, like restoring Puff after the crash, isn't just fixing parts, it's restoring the life and spirit in them. So, Donald says something like, love gives life to everything it touches, and that's when Richard understands anything touched with love becomes alive with spirit. He notices that even memories, moments, and intentions carry that same energy. Life, objects, and experiences all respond to the presence of conscious love. So, here the main idea is love is energy. It breathes life into everything, like people, things, even memories. So, what we give attention and care to grows in spirit. On the other hand, neglect, fear, or indifferences on the drains energy. Example: think about a time when someone made you feel appreciated, cared for, or loved. Didn't it feel like a spark and lifting everyone's energy in the room? That's the same way love works with everyone and around us, even objects and memories. Let me give you another example of mine. Like I often talk to plants, just appreciating the fresh air they give. I notice their leaves turning and growing stronger each day. And I also sometimes notice my car, how it safely gets me to my destination every day. When I do that, I feel life in them. Like the care and attention we give actually brings a little energy or the spirit into everything around us. That's exactly the same feeling Richard experiences with Puff. He sees that the love we invest, no matter how small, transforms the world from something inert into something alive. So remember, every thought, every action, every bit of care you give is energy in motion. So when you approach life with love, even the ordinary, a plant, a car, a memory, it becomes extraordinary. So you don't just live in the world, you awaken it. So question to you again. Now think for a moment. Is there something in your life like a plant, a pet, a song, or an object that feels alive to you because of the love or care you give it? If yes, type the things that feel alive to you. Finally, we are in chapter 14 and 15. Um, so, Richard's journey comes to full circle. It's about gratitude, acceptance, and remembering that we are already whole. So, after months of repair, Puff is finally ready. Puff is nothing but the seaplane of Richard. So, Richard, now stronger and healed, takes Puff back into the sky after almost a year. That flight feels magical for him. He experiences something amazing. Both he and Puff have been reborn together. The crash actually didn't destroy them, it transferred them. As he source gratitude fills him for life, for Donald, for every person who helped him along the way. And in that moment, a deeper realization dawns. All of life, death, pain, and healing are just different sides of one big illusion. So, what really is here? Love, peace, and awareness. So he ends the book saying, I am perfect expression of perfect love here and now. So that line sums it all up, like we are already complete. We don't need to become anything. We just need to remember who we are. Main idea here is the real healing isn't about fixing everything outside. It's about remembering our wholeness, that sense of peace, love, and awareness that already exists inside us. So let's take a moment to look at the main lessons from the book. These are the points that really stood out to me, and I think we can use them in our own lives too. So, first one is illusion. Sometimes things just don't go our way, and in that moment, we might think maybe this wasn't for me. But when we look back later, we often realize something interesting, and our beliefs at that time were actually shaping how we experienced the situation. For example, maybe you didn't get a job or you really wanted, or a chance you were hoping for didn't come through. So at first it felt disappointing, right? But later you may see that it actually led to something better, something that helped you grow, helped you to learn or move in a direction you didn't expect. So the lesson here is simple. What we believe inside, whether it's life is against me or life is guiding me, completely changes what we experience on the outside. Second one is love. Love isn't just about feelings. It's really shows up in what we do. For example, think about a parent who wakes up at night for a child, or a friend who just listens without judging, or even a moment when you help someone, even though you're tired. Those small, quiet actions create a kind of peace inside. So, the lesson here is that love doesn't always arrive in big words or grand gestures. Most of the time, it's there in patience, the kindness, and the little ways we quietly care, even when no one notices. And the third one is challenges. Challenges are something they push us to grow stronger. Think about learning something new. At first, you might fail, or feel frustrated, or even you want to give up. But by practicing a little each day, slowly you improve. So that's what challenges do. They teach patience, resilience, and help us become a better version of ourselves. And the fourth one is healing. So, healing is not always about fixing what's happening outside. Sometimes we feel drained or upset after a loss or because of tough situations. The world outside might not change, but if we stop overthinking and take a moment to find calm, something shifts inside. We start feeling lighter, more centered. So, the lesson here is simple. Real healing begins inside. Calm and acceptance create space for growth and strength. And the last one is life. So, life has this amazing way of renewing itself. Sometimes we lose a job, or move to a new place, or go through the end of a relationship. So, at first, it can feel like the world is ending, but slowly things start to shift. What felt like ending often begins a new beginning. So, no matter how hard today feels, life is always making space for hope and healing and a new purpose. We just need to stay open and notice it. So, those are the main lessons I took from the book. So, and now, as we come to an end, this book is actually more than just a story. It's like an invitation to look at how we are living our own life right now. Not tomorrow, not later, but in this moment. So, life will continue to give us ups and downs, challenges and victories, surprises and lessons too. But what illusions too shows us is that we always have guidance inside of us, our inner voice, our awareness. So when we choose love, trust, and higher intention, we respond differently. Healing, confidence, clarity. They don't first come from outside. They begin from within. So as we move forward after this book, let's stay a little more conscious, a little more aware, and choose from the highest place within ourselves. And my heartful gratitude to Pradeep Vijay sir and the beautiful team for making this program and making me part of it. And thank you so much, masters, whoever attended today. And thank you. Let me know if you have any questions from this book, from today's talk. Let me know.
Ma'am, I have one question.
Yeah, sure, sir.
Uh, when you read the book, and did you feel that the entire content is applicable now, or is there anything we need to adapt differently for today's timeline?
Um, Definitely, sir. Like it's not everything I was doing, but so it's the awareness, sir. It's sometimes I lose that awareness. Even I was explaining about one of I lost a friend last week, so I was telling. So I was literally deeply sad in that. But again, that awareness was gone. But I have a meditation family here, and when we did meditation together, and they played Patriji's a short clip, like this is not our body, and this is our there is something beyond our body, and people who leave will have there are something better things they can do in their next life. So immediately I got that awareness. That is right, that these are all the practices I was doing all this, and I forgot when the real situation came. So that's when, yeah, that awareness, I have to keep that in mind for each and every situation. And also, I got a bit emotional in the bit because I went to her ceremony today, and it's kind of heavy for me.
It was a wonderful presentation, ma'am. Very nicely done.
Thank you, sir.
So thank you so much, Kalyani ma'am. You are the first participants, and we really motivate from you how
Thank
much you are confident, and you can speak 30 minutes thoroughly without any tension or any stress. So how you get the confidence to present this book?
Oh, I did lot of practice, ma'am, for sure. It's like I completed this book 2 weeks before, and from then I took 1 week to make all this presentation and notes. And I have a meditation family in Dallas, and I picked a few people, and I gave almost to one presentation, and they gave me feedback as well. They told me to improve the content. For initially, I completed everything in 10 minutes. So they told me to, okay, 30 minutes is a lot, so you can add more content to it. And also they told me to pause. So every day I practiced, ma'am. So because this is the first time, I was really tensed, and that practice made me do this day. And everyone told, okay, it's a one person or 100 persons, doesn't matter, don't look at that. So I was not even looking how many were present actually.
Fantastic, ma'am. Thank you.